No creature is as iconic and synonymous with fantasy as the dragon. A symbol of greed, power, and malice, dragons are the ultimate enemy in fantasy role-playing games. But it's tough to present dragons in a way that's fresh and interesting. But today I'm going to show you dragons like you've never seen before, and they're from this book, which can be used with any fantasy role-playing game. Stay tuned for Dragon Week on Dungeon Craft. Welcome to Dungeon Craft. I'm Professor DM, and this channel is about all things tabletop role-playing games, Deathbringer.
Like, subscribe, bell, comment, newsletter, and Patreon for bonus content.
Welcome to Dragon Week, and before we begin, I just want to thank Pointy Hat and Ginny D for inviting me to their party. Dragons are the ultimate monster, and this may be the ultimate dragon book. At least the best dragon book I've read in the last several years. It is Crown and Skull Volume 2, but you don't need to have Volume 1 or know anything about Crown and Skull to appreciate it. It is essentially a book of Dungeons and Dragons, the monster and their lairs. And although it's designed for Crown and Skull, it's less about stats and more about layers and lore. Let's take a look. Full disclosure, I received this advanced copy of Crown and Skull from Runehammer Games with no obligation to review. There was no other remuneration. I don't do paid reviews on this channel. Crown and Skull, Volume 2, hardbound, faux leather cover, gold embossing. It includes a bookmark ribbon. Just look at this interior art. Very H.R. Giger, very worm-like dragon here. This is Semaculon Firstborn, illustrated by Hassan Raza. And that's the cool thing about the dragons here. They have names, they have layers, they have lineages, and things that make them unique. So Crown and Skull is from Runehammer Games, and if you're unfamiliar with it, Volume 1 is its own role-playing game. And both of these together make a set. If you've never played Crown and Skull, it is a roll under d20 system. Armor absorbs damage, and in lieu of hit points, characters lose skills and equipment in a mechanic called attrition. And if that sounds cool to you, you should get Volume 1. Volume 2 is a book of Dungeons and Dragons. Literally, it is dragons, and each of them has their own unique lair. The first part of the book is designed for players, and it includes Crown and Skull skills, abilities, as well as rules for riding dragons. And some excellent player advice on how to play the game. One of the things I like is taking the bait. Players have a key task to wholeheartedly take the bait and plunge into dangerous and mysterious depths of an environment designed to challenge or kill them. The game master will provide the lures, but the players must role play their let's do this at any cost motivations to keep things thrusting ahead smoothly. I've thought that, but I think that's the first time I've ever seen that written in a rule book. I get asked all the time, how do I get my players to take my hooks? And my response is, they're adventurers. It's part of the social contract of the game to take the hook. They're protagonists. They should be protagging. But these Crown and Skull specific rules are only the first 20 pages. And then we get into the lineage of the dragon. Where did these creatures come from? And here they are the descendants of immortals, demigods, the children of Korama and Durathrax. There's a dragon family tree, a description of lesser dragon kind. And then we get into the specific dragons like Aramato Ringscale, who is so ancient, he is, in fact, dying. All of these dragons come with their own legends. There's Hydronax, Pyronax, and Semaculon. Some of the best dragon names since Verminax pejorative. The layout is unusual in that it's not broken up by illustrations. Often fantasy game books do that. Here, you get the illustrations, and when it's time for the rules, you get the text. The first layer is the Starfarer, a crashed spaceship, and the lair of Aramoto Ringscale. And this lair has very sci-fi elements like droids. It's got a vibe very much like the classic AD&D module, Expedition of Barrier Peak. You get multiple entry points and a dungeon overview. I love this. Facing pages. We've got a map and the key. Each of these areas gets one page. Details for the game master to set the scene. 4 different encounters, so the scenario is replayable. And a page called The Big Ending. Advice on how to run the climax. Pyronax's lair is in an active volcano. All these dragons have unique minions. Pyronax are the Flamekin. They form from flame-licked chunks of stone. One of the best things is each layer is unique. The terrain itself is part of the challenge. Like the dwarves wear breathing tanks. Characters can't wear metal armor because it heats up too much. The ground is unstable, subject to seismic forces. This is awesome stuff. Again, we have the map, facing page, an overview. Then we get into the deets with each room. What's in it, how to describe it. And what's also cool is these scenarios don't just have to deal with killing the dragon. For example, here the characters are caught between the forces of Haskar, a frost giant, who wants to kill Pyronax so he can cool his volcano and create an eternal winter night. So the players actually have to save the dragon. But the challenge is Pyronax is not cooperative. He is angry and does not like his lair invaded. And rather than a linear outcome, there are options, different ways the scenario might end.
Like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thank you.
The Grey Lake is the lair of Semaculon Firstborn, who has been driven mad by a crystal orb. Do you have to kill the dragon or simply separate him from the evil orb, to which he's become addicted? That's the challenge the players face as they navigate the tunnel of terrors and the labyrinth of lunacy. If you're wondering how these monsters convert, kobolds are kobolds. They have 5 hit points. And any of these dragons can be swapped out for a 5th edition ancient dragon of any color. Semaculon, black dragon. Pyromax is a red dragon. As long as you've got a monster manual, this is easy to convert. This is the Isle of Worms, home to Zameth the Unchained. There are 6 dragons and lairs in this book, and I can't stress how much I love this layout. It is super intuitive. Each lair is about 5 or 6 encounters, and it's spread out over 5 or 6 pages. And the ribbon makes it super convenient for the game master to keep their place. This book, like Shadow Dark, has a layout that's very utilitarian. It is built for a game master to use it at the table with a minimal of flipping. Other cool stuff. We've got rare books with draconic spells that affect dragons. I've had many viewers ask for rules about mass battles, and here we have them. Some random battlefield encounters, a chart for shifting battlefield momentum, other awesome charts like 100 villages, 100 dragon rumors, 100 dragon minions, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but you're going to have to trust me. There is a lot more here, and it is excellent. Crown and Skull Volume 2 is perhaps one of the best dragon books, if not the best dragon book I have ever read. Whatever fantasy game system you're playing, there are tons of ideas to loot from this book, and I give it a big double thumbs up. One of the most original role-playing game books I have read in the last couple of years. Crown and Skull Volume 2 is available from Runehammer Games at the link below. You can also sign up for the Deathbringer newsletter below, and check out my Dungeon Craft Patreon, where I include tons of bonus content. Thanks again to Antonio and Ginny for inviting me to participate, and don't forget to check out some of my colleagues' videos on dragons this week. It's all part of the Dragon Week celebration. I'll see you soon. May all your rolls be 20s.
Deathbringer again. This dragon put up a fight, but now it's suffering from a reptile dysfunction. There's more where that came from. Click on these videos